First of all, Friday night, I'm going to say the main event of the round. Others may disagree, but they would be wrong. The Otago, who put up the good performance, as we said, in Rotorua last week against Waikato, head to the Boneyard to take on the well-rested Turbos, who finished second on the ladder, get the home semi-final for the first time since 2014, the championship winning season. Odds open dead even. It was $1.90 each way on Monday afternoon, but the money's come for Otago. Now $1.62 head-to-head. Manawatu, you can get at $2.20. And the point start in that game's 2.5, so you can still get Otago at less than the penalty. Has that been your money moving the market, Fisky?
Mate, I'm all over it. This is I'm excited about this game, but not for the same reason. I think this is the best bet of the round, including the internationals. I think Otago are coming good at the right time of the year, and Manawatu haven't won a match for over a month and hardly played much footy. I think they're outclassed here, and they've shown that they just can't compete when up against a side with a bit more talent. So I'm all over Otago. I think they'll win this by at least a try. So very, very confident. Otago are strong across the park, and I can't believe the betting. I thought this would be 6 or 7. So I would still take the -2, and I'd take -4 even. So very confident.
Yeah, sorry, Patrick. I think I did written the exact same thing. Manawatu had that strong start, but they've sort of lost 3 or 4 in a row, and haven't won in a month. Otago have just seemed to be getting better and better. They're sort of grinding out some wins, playing some really good footy, and I was impressed with them against Waikato. So yeah, I like the -2.5 here, and I think that even though Manawatu won earlier this year, Otago were on a 5-game winning streak against Manawatu before that. So
Manawatu now on a 1-game winning streak against Otago. I think you're fine.
But yeah, no, I like Otago a lot this game.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue with you guys at all. Obviously, I'll probably stay away from this game betting-wise just because I have enough riding on it emotionally. But the one thing giving me a bit of hope from Manawatu point of view would just be, as you guys sort of said last week, Otago sort of dominated possession and territory in that game, but the opportunities Waikato did have, they managed to score. And if anything, Manawatu have been really well drilled from set piece this year. They've had some great backline moves, Brett Cameron running the cutter and getting the sort of powerful runners they've got in the midfield and out wide involved in try scoring positions. So if Manawatu can maybe create a couple of tries out of nothing like that, I think that's what they're going to have to do to stay in the game. But yeah, I could just see Otago, a lot like Wellington did a couple of weeks ago, going there and just controlling things and just having too much of the ball. Manawatu will have their chances, but they just won't see enough of the ball to really stay in the game, and that'll just wear you down. So yeah, I mean, I'm not overly confident, certainly as a Manawatu fan, and I was probably expecting to see Otago a bit bigger favourites as well.
See what it jumps at, eh?
Yeah.
I think we can all talk about Ioane and a couple of their outside backs. They're talented, but yeah, I think their pack is really strong. It's particularly the back row. Is it Christian Leo Willie? They're number 8. Really impressed with him. He played number 8 last weekend. I really enjoyed watching him. I thought, back row, second row, a couple of good youngsters as well off the bench. So Otago, it's quite promising times for him. This is a mismatch.
Yeah, and I'd say that's probably a sort of strength against weakness as well. Manawatu have obviously got those 3 great ball carrying loose forwards, have been stars all season, and the backlines are pretty good. But the tight 5, especially with Liam Mitchell already gone to Italy, it's definitely, they've got a couple of injuries in the front row as well. So that's probably their, if you can target Manawatu anywhere. You were talking about the England-Australia game before, Fisky. If every scrum's just a penalty, could be a real big issue there. So yeah, I'm talking myself out of it as we go. So we'll move on to Inglewood, which has been a very happy hunting ground for me most of the year. Not so much on Sunday afternoon with Taranaki not quite covering the start, but they're pretty similarly priced this week. $1.10 head-to-head, 18.5 point favourites. If you want to get as much as Southland at $6.20, but I mean, are you giving them any chance, Richard?
Nah, it's hard to give them any chance. Yeah, I mean, they got off to a good start last week against Taranaki, but then what Taranaki put on 20. I think it was at 10-0, and then it ended up being 24-0. I think. Yeah. So
correct.
They just ran away with it, and I mean, they looked like they had some more left in the tank, I thought. So, yeah, I mean, and playing there 2 weeks in a row, it's just going to be hard. Taranaki didn't need to do anything that game and still kind of, got a 14-point win. So getting another 4 points on that, 18.5. I'm pretty happy to take that. Taranaki won 7 straight against Southland. So, it's hard to see Southland give Southland any chance in this one, really.
Yeah, they won at Cantor last week, right, Fisky?
The first 25 minutes was all Southland, and they still only got the 10 points and kind of never threatened after that, and everything did go their way early. So they're probably not going to get a similar start. They'll be playing from behind, and then they really battle when that's the case. I'm not sure Scott Barrett will be available. I don't know what you guys have heard. I think his partner's due this week for the baby, so maybe it was just that debut for Taranaki, and he may be unavailable for the rest of the season. I'm not sure on that. He will obviously make a big difference, but Naki, they were sloppy and still got up comfortably. I think they'll be a lot more measured this week.
And it's not like they were struggling before Scott joined the team last week. Like they're flying without him. He was really just a little bonus. But I don't know what their eligibility rule. Maybe he had to play one of the round robin games to be eligible for the final if things work out there, or what the situation is.
That's right.
Yeah, that
and I think they were a bit sloppy. Their minds were elsewhere for obvious reasons. There was a nothing game, and I'm prepared to forgive them. They're just well below what they've been all season. So I think they'll bounce back, a bit more clinical. And it's a big start. And I'm not going to have a bet actually, but if I did, I'd take the minus.
Yeah, for sure. One game where I certainly will be having a bet. 4:35 McLean Park up in the Bay. Should be a lovely Saturday afternoon there. Hawke's Bay taking on Tasman for the second time in a few weeks. Obviously, we were all in on the Shield Challenge a few weeks ago. That was probably arguably the biggest game of the round robin, I think, just given the hype around Tasman before they went to that one. They are not favourites this time, though. Hawke's Bay, $1.51 in the head-to-head market and 5.5-point favourites. You can get Tasman at $2.45 if you think the Mako a chance of causing an upset. Are you one of those people, Richard?
No, I'm not. The Mako, I backed them in that, in that Shield Challenge. They had a bit of momentum, and I thought they were the better team coming into that game. But Hawke's Bay, they sort of got out to that lead and were able to sort of hold on. And since then, Hawke's Bay have just gone from strength to strength, and Tasman have sort of haven't looked very convincing. We touched about that, touched on that Wellington game where they sort of got off to a good start, but then as soon as Wellington decided to play some rugby, they came back into it when they had a 20, 25 point lead or whatever it was. So, Hawke's Bay at home, the Shield's obviously not on the line, but they've just been electric at home, and I can see them putting a few points on, to be honest.
Are you giving the Mako a chance, Fisky?
Not really. I think he's just going against history. It's been a great winning streak for Hawke's Bay at home, and I think it'll continue this week. They're just so reliable. Even when the numbers or if your momentum's against them, they just find something. And who are we to say that won't happen again? Until they start to really wobble, which they haven't, I'm not jumping off them.
Yeah, I just think defensively they've been pretty suspect. Like you look at the last 2 weeks, it was pretty horrible conditions. That game in Christchurch on the Friday evening. Shout out to Fisky, you got you got one over me there with Canterbury getting the win a couple of weeks ago. But yeah, I just thought they were, when the pressure really came on late on the year, like Dallas McLeod, like just skipping his way to the try line. And to the way Hawke's Bay have been playing, especially that back line is just firing on all cylinders. There's got so many dangerous ball runners. I think if it's a good afternoon, which it should be, I can see Hawke's Bay putting them under more pressure than they'll be able to withstand. So I'm pretty keen on the -5.5. For me, it's ironic because I still think Taranaki are the best team in the country, but in terms of the top division, Hawke's Bay very much the team to beat.
You'd love to see those two playing like an exhibition match post.
If
they both won the finals,
bring back North and South, just to bring it in the first place. But I don't know if there's anything else to add. Any other areas you think maybe Tasman will look to target, or?
No, look, Ash Dixon has gone. That's a little bit of a blow. So they'll have to do without him. I'm right there, aren't I? He's gone to Japan.
His replacement's not too bad. He's scored about 3 tries in the last 2 or 3 weeks. So
That's right. So look, it's apart from that, it's just business as usual. And like I say, on paper, and games aren't won on paper, but on paper you think, well, Tasman should be able to compete here, but they're just so reliable. So nothing more to add. They're just the complete team this season, New Zealand rugby. So once again, I don't think the value's at the minus, but if I was going to have a bet, I'd be on it.
Maybe a bit of Hawke's Bay 1-12, take advantage of the.
Yeah, I just my last comment about not having a bet on Taranaki, I think that's perfect for our margin market. You take a 13 plus because you know they're going to win, and at very worst it's 1-12 and you get your money back. So I'd do the same here. You kind of take your Hawke's Bay, maybe even 13 plus, and if they don't win that by that, it's probably going to be 1-12 money back.
For sure. I won't be talking to anyone out of taking Hawke's Bay 13 plus the way they're going.
No, neither.
But I'm a bit concerned because, it's become a great tradition on this podcast. We've been finding false favourites all over the place in the NPC so far this week. And you haven't set the alarm off yet, Fisky, but...
Me. Are we going to Rotorua game? Rotorua?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think we've got a false favourite here. And I'll tell you why. I think... Canterbury were very, very lucky to beat them early in the season in Hamilton. But I think Waikato, you just can't fault them the last month. And Canterbury have been favoured by their opposition. And look, they've been a lot better, but they haven't really changed their ways. They haven't really got new inclusions. I think playing this game on the road, I can't believe it's not 2 or 3 point favourites for Waikato. The fact you're getting 1 or 2 start is a bonus. I really like this one.
Yeah, no, I think Canterbury have certainly been flattered by the opposition. To only beat that Bad Plenty team, like Bad Plenty are a solid side, but that 3 games and 2 games in 3 days, 3 games in 10 days situation, that's been horror as a betting proposition for years. So to only really sort of not sneak past them, but not put a gap on them. Yeah, a bit of a red flag for me. And obviously, we've talked about the weather and the game against Tasman the week before. Are you back in your hometown boys, Richard? Or
well, I wanted to, but I was pretty surprised to see them favourites, actually. Yeah, I thought Waikato have, not been too bad. Canterbury have been very sketchy. They have obviously won 2 in a row, so maybe they're on a bit of a run. But I would have liked to be backing them as underdogs with a plus 1 or 2. But I think I'll be staying on them. I think that they've just I think they have turned their corner, and they're a very proud rugby province, and they'll be wanting to sort of get back into the finals footy after the disappointment of last season. So, but yeah, it'll be hard. I mean, probably lucky that they're not playing in Hamilton, but there'll still be a big Waikato support base, you imagine.
We'll bring a bit of context to it. Let's not forget, it was only 2 or 3 weeks ago they went down to Dunedin, and same sort of thing. Otago started as 3.5 point outsiders, came into pick, kind of like what's happening here. We thought Otago should be favourites, and they end up winning the game. And I think this matchup, if anything, Waikato slightly better than Otago. The Canterbury side is relatively unchanged from that game. So, yeah, all the signs are they're not specials here, Waikato, but they definitely deserve to be favourites in my mind. Definitely.
Yeah, Canterbury have just struggled to put an 80-minute performance together all season, really, haven't they? Like that game, they were up 17-0, and then there was that Hawke's Bay game where they just leaked 30 points, and
they struggled to put together an 8-minute performance in that game.
So I'm going to side with them. I think they've turned the table, turned the form around, and but would have rather be backing them with a couple points in the plus.
Yeah, and I just think for the value proposition, give me the Moolus, give me all the Moolus. When you're a false favourite in the NPC this season, it's a bad sign. So.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah,
Get on.
Right,